Is this what giving up feels like? I don't know, I don't know. Tell me, have I lost my mind? Nowhere to go, so far from home. Is this what giving up feels like? I don't know, I don't know. Tell me, have I lost my mind? So I break these walls and hold my head up high, and I step my ground until the day I die. As the rain falls down, there's no more tears to cry, tears to cry. So I break these walls and hold my head up high. No, I'm not giving in. No, I'm not giving in.
Anybody out there?
Let me see you go. I'll see you with it. Pop it. Now let me see you go. I'll see you with it. Pop it. Go. Now let me see you go. I'll see you with it. Pop it. Now let me see you go. 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 What you gonna do with it? 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 What you gonna do with it?
One viewer, but I'm not seeing anything. I don't know if studio's connected here or not on my control panel, but I'm just gonna go with it. And my chat doesn't seem to yeah, my live control panel's not showing me chat. And I don't know what's going on, but hey, I'm just gonna leave it at that. It says I got 2 viewers. I'm gonna go with I got 2 viewers. And I'll check in on chats every now and then. I got viewers. Look at that. I'm going to go over here and I'm going to switch to, as soon as you're here, I'm going to go over a bunch of the things that I did this week already, because last week was a bit of a failure. Had a bunch of issues with, with some technical details in my streaming software, and it kept crashing, and it wasn't sending an update to YouTube, so I couldn't actually stay connected. All sorts of issues that you hear you saw. So anyways, we're going to go and we're going to switch to this guy, and I'm going to look through some of these things here. Yeah, there we go. So this is 2001, I think, where we started with this. 2001. I started putting stuff horizontally in these guys, so you could. Well, no, not that. That's not what I wanted. I wanted that, and then I want that guy. There we go. All right, little me up in the corner. I don't even know. You can't even see me there, but I'm there. Let me just turn that back off. All right. Well, I've been going through these photos for a while now, and got to 2001, which is, yeah, it was a pretty exciting time. 2001 is when I start to actually, I quit all my other jobs in 2000 and 99, quit everything else I was doing, and started shooting full time in 2000. And 2000, kind of looked at some of that stuff, but 2001 was pretty good. So this is starting with some street stuff that I went through, and I'm going to see how this works. I'm trying to figure out a good way to actually do this stuff. We can come through this. Chris Donahue here. This is 1500 West Georgia building. This is a pond out front that has a waterfall they use for cooling. It's gone now, I think, but we're just going to, here. I'm going to look through these real quick, just like this, and then I'm going to go through them all. These ones I've actually scanned already, so we'll go through those. I used to shoot a lot of street stuff, and you know, this is focus there. Yeah. Chris Donahue, 2001. This is another shot from the same place. This one was shot on tungsten film. I don't know why. I thought it was cool. I like the blues, and I shot a bunch of stuff on tungsten, and I would gel my flash with a CTO gel, and yeah. So tungsten film is designed for tungsten lights, which is your basic indoor lights. Everything's orangey, like orangey lights. You don't think of them that way, but tungsten lights are kind of orange. And to compensate, the film is really blue, so things would look normal. So it tends to make everything blue if you're looking at daylight. Daylight turns blue. And anything that the flash with a warm gel hits ends up being normal. So I don't know if you can really see there. Chris's skin tones and stuff are pretty normal, but sun is like bright blue in the background there, and the buildings, everything's blue. So I did that for a while. I used to shoot with Chris a lot, and little ledge manual somewhere in Falls Creek there. And then this one, I totally forgot about this photo. This is Falls Creek. This is down by the what do they call it, the roundhouse or whatever, down in Falls Creek there, I think. I can't remember. But this one, he had to, it was cool because he hit this curb here and like bump jumped up onto this wall off the curb pop. Seemed kind of cool at the time. And then Grouse Mountain World Cup. This was the first year of the Grouse Mountain World Cup, I believe. Maybe the second. 2001. This is Chris Toboggan. And this is kind of a preview, almost in some ways, of what I shot with Darren the next year. Because it's the same kind of composition, or similar. Or not composition, sorry, color, as Darren's cover shot. But there's that. There's a bunch more over here. This one, my friend Timo, yeah, realized Timo was there. I have one picture of him. It's this backflip. There's a few people watching there in the bottom corner there. But yeah, Timo, backflip, and Chris, again. This shot actually ended up being a 2-page spread in Dirt magazine, which was cool. I think it was almost a centerfold. It was like a pullout, I think. I was trying to find it the other day. I don't think I could find it, but I have it somewhere. Classic Superman shot. And then this, if you're from Vancouver, you've been to Vancouver, this is location some of you might have seen before. This is North Vancouver, and this is a big old wall ride, and we shot this for Sprung, I think it was Sprung 5. Does anybody remember? Anybody out there? No, just Mikey. All right, there's some people out there. Yeah, I think it was Sprung 5. Milan Spazic was there, and yeah, so during the World Cup, he was there for the World Cup, and during the World Cup we went out and shot some stuff with Chris, and I think with Preston Blackie as well. While we were there at the World Cup, I went and checked out the Flow show, and Dan Cowan, Dangerous Dan Cowan. All right, some of you may have heard of that, all the North Shore Extreme videos and stuff back in the day. He started a thing called the Flow Show, and it was a way for him to take the trails that he was building on the North Shore and bring them back, well, not bring them back, bring them into the public, where the public could see the stuff that they were doing, these ladder bridges and skinnies and teeter-totters that they were building in the forest on these trails, and bring them into the city or to places where people could see them. And so this is right here. Hang on a second. So this is Ian Molt. in these pictures. There's two of them. And I don't know. When I get to the actual scans, let me see if I can switch to the scans actually, and get those for you, because I have them loaded up here. All right, let's go there. All right, so here we're going back. These are the ones that I scanned a while ago, and this, oops. I need to have that on. All right, well, we're going to start where we were. We'll start there. This is, so there's that shot of Chris, and there's another shot we were looking at where you can see it a lot more clearly now. You can see how the wall here where the light is kind of a normal color, because I got the CTO gel, which is a fairly bright orange gel designed to correct tungsten light. So there it is, tungsten film, CTO gel to make the regular daylight colored flash. Instead of making it blue, it's making it orange, which is why Chris's colors look normal. And he's riding that old, I don't know who made the hardtail. It's crazy how when you look at a photo, a film photo, when you scan it super high res and you look at it, how soft and grainy they look. But yeah, they're there. Yeah, Rip and Hammer sticker. I'm looking at his frame. I don't know what frame that was. I think it might have actually been a Profile frame. I have this weird memory that Profile made some frames. Anybody know? Hit me up. Send me a message. Let me know. Termite, if you happen to be there, hit me up. Let me know. Or Chris, if you're there. Vans, Profile. Anyways, that's all it is. This is that ledge, False Creek ledge manual shot. I don't think most of these shots were never seen anywhere except maybe Germany. A lot of this stuff got sent to Mountain Bike Rider in Germany, and I think Mountain Bike Review in Austria. Decline wasn't really into a lot of the street scene at the time. I don't know if these ever actually got printed anywhere. There's that toboggan from Grouse Mountain. It's that shot of Timo. I mentioned it to Timo. I'm like, hey, I couldn't tell. I thought it was him, but I'm like, hey, was that you wearing the felt jersey there? And he's like, yeah, he was on felt, I think, for this one event. So that is Timo flipping. Not a pretty shot of Timo flipping. Chris, you can see all the dust. I haven't edited any of these photos yet. I scanned them real quick, did some basic corrections, but now I need to go through, and I use a blower and a non-static wipe to get stuff off, but I need to find a better way because there's a lot of dust on these guys. But we'll get them all cleaned up, make them look crisp and clean. I don't think I'm going to print any of these, so there's no real rush. I just need them to do them in my own time. Here's this shot again. This is Cleveland Dam is where it is in North Vancouver. And the thing you don't see in this shot, I don't know if you can see my mouse there, is it comes down here, but just at the bottom here, it's like one lane wide for like a car, not even, and then there's a chain link fence. So Chris is coming down, he's a fair ways up there. If you look at where he is here, and then coming all the way down to here, he's got some speed. He's like, I don't know what that is, like 20 feet up the wall, 15, 18 feet up the wall. He's coming down and he's got to slam on the brakes. I had to get out of the way. Where I'm standing in that shot is kind of tucked out as far out of the way as I could get. One, I wanted to get as far back and get as much of it as I could. I couldn't get any further back because I'm against another chain link fence, but I had to be out of the way when he came down because that fence was right there. And this is what I was getting to with Ian Molt. So Ian was rad young kid back then. I don't know how old he is in this, 11, 12 maybe. Somebody's watching that knows that, let me know. But yeah, 2001, Ian Molt, really bright kid and incredibly talented. So this is one of the flow show contraptions that Dan built. This is at the World Cup downhill up at Grouse. And you can see there's like this articulated teeter-totter that when one end goes up, the other end goes down. They're connected together like this. So as the planks, as you go up a plank, it goes down, and the next one goes up, and then it goes down. Yeah, discombobulator style. I think the one on the shore was, because there actually was one on the shore, and I think pretty sure it was called the discombobulator. So yeah, Ian doing that, and then you can see that goes straight into this like roller coaster section right there. So super rad memories looking through all this stuff. I got a bunch of photos of different people doing this, but these are the ones that stood out, and good memories of shooting with Ian. Another one of the flow show obstacles, stunts, whatever you want to call it. This is Super T, Tyler Klassen, and he's dropping off of this really tall, skinny bridge onto this the landing over the truck. And this is another shot. I don't know if they moved it or if this is just a different angle. I don't remember, but this is him again in front of the crowd at up at the top of Grouse Mountain there. And then some race shots. So none of my race shots from Grouse ever went anywhere. I never really even looked at them more than a glance up until this week. I glanced at them a few times, but the dirt jump shots went to dirt, and I sent a bunch of these shots that didn't get used, and then some other stuff I think went to Decline. Wait, no, Decline didn't even exist. This is this is 2002. I don't even want to, 2001. I don't know what we're talking about with Decline. Bike Mag and Mountain Bike Action were really it. This is Chris Kovarik on his I think this is his race run. Actually, I'm pretty sure this is his race run. Chris came, I don't remember, he made it onto the podium. I'm not sure if he was second or third, but he was up there. I can't remember who won. I should probably find the podium pic and look at it and see. And actually, let me see if I can do that. I'll keep talking to you, and we'll go to the screen there. While you're doing that, I can find the podium, because these are 01 to 12. So I can keep talking to you. I got all my things organized a little bit better, and now I can find what album things are in a lot more quickly. Of course, it has to be the album that is as far away as possible. So we're going to go, excuse me, we're going to go back here to there. I don't know if you can see me. I found this album, and I'm looking for a photo that is 01 to 12. This is 01 to 12. All right, I'm going to start looking through here. I'm going to pull this guy out, and there's all the shots from there. It's a bunch of other stuff from that same race. I'm looking for the podium shot so I can. Yeah, there's a bunch of good shots in here. This is Philip Polk. If any of you remember Philip Polk. The Polkster. There's just a bunch of photos of people here. Shot the same corner for a lot of people. Didn't always get it. The thing with shooting downhill is everybody takes things in. I find something that looks good, and then I go shoot it, and it looks good for some people, but not for others. Gary Hausman. think that says, yeah, Gary Houseman. He won it, was it Gary Houseman, I think, won it the next year? And then it ended up being a bit of a fiasco. Scott Beaumont. Oh, so this is not the final. This is, it says half final, which means this is like qualies or whatever for downhill. I don't know what half final means. Shams actually killed it on this. He went the other shot I have, I think, is maybe a little, or is it this one? A little better, but Shams went so big, way bigger than anybody else. Almost jumped out of my frame on one shot. Other sections. Kenji. I didn't know most of these guys back then. I didn't know any of these guys back then. You got, who's that? Missy Giovi. Is Missy? Yeah, look at her there, red. Haven't scanned any of these yet, so they're not looking great. Really what I'm looking for is the podium shots here. So this is what I do. I go through and I look at slides all day and find out the ones I want. And then I put them aside and then I scan them. God, there's a lot of photos from here. So this is why. There's pages and pages of them. Like every rider. Kovarik. So that's actually, I think this is actually Kovarik's downhill final. So this is his actual, that's the actual shot I have of Kovarik for the final. Really hard to get it in focus with this lens. But there you go. That's Kovarik. And that is, he came second. And then Mick. Mick mentioned to me today that he came third in the final. This shot, which I have over there, we'll look at it in a second. It was Mick's first downhill podium, World Cup podium, which is kind of cool. Oh, Fabien Barel, Chris Kovarik, and Mick Hanna. So there's the podium. Barel, Kovarik, and Hanna. All right, so now we know. I don't know if I have a good shot of Fabien Barel or not. Not sure. But so there's Kovarik. I like, this is Cedric Gracia. I like this shot of Cedric. Just his body position. To me, a lot of it's about people's position, if they're in the air or the ground, how they look. And I think this is good. Body position looks, oh, it's Cedric, right? Cedric was pretty amazing. Wait, what's going on here? There we go. Oh, sorry guys. Sorry, missed Cedric there. Let me, there. So there's Cedric. We're looking at this before. There was Kovarik, there's Cedric. Colin Bailey, my buddy Colin Bailey. Some of you might know Colin. Yeah, got a bunch of shots. Colin, I need to send you this. If you're out there, somebody tell Colin I need to send him this shot. And for those of you that are there, if anybody's sending me messages, I don't actually have, I'm going to check right now and see what's going on. I am not getting chat on my, oh, I'm not getting anybody saying anything. All right. There we go. Colin Bailey. And then Mick. I love this shot of Mick. I got to send this to Mick. This is his first downhill World Cup podium. Came third in this race, Grouse Mountain. Shams. This is the one I said, Shams, like just sanding it. Big trail of dust behind him. And yeah, he's right there. It's, whoops, I can't do that, can I? Maybe I can, I don't know. Anyways, there's Shams. And I pulled this one because it's my friend Barb Haley. Barb, if you're out there, I'll send you this too. I'm putting together a collection for you. Yeah, Barb charging. See her dreadlocks hanging out there. Local BC girl. And what else do we have in here? Is that it? That's it. So I'm going to go back up to the top here. This is all the other stuff that I scanned the other day. And we'll start with the shot of Chris. And so again, I shot this. This is probably the same day or same period. I was shooting with tungsten film and trying to use a flash with a CTO gel on it, with an orange gel, to make everything in the flash hit look normal, while everything else looked kind of blue. And I really like the way it made these yellow leaves look kind of yellowy green. Everything gives it kind of a blue color. And yeah. And then this, I just found, I found a couple of these shots. They're not in albums, they were just in random slide sheets sitting on my desk. This is my friend Travis Robb and Jeff Lenoski, and this is from our trip to Barcelona for New World Disorder. Aaron Chase and Jeff Lenoski and Travis and I went over to Barcelona and shot some stuff. And this is, I don't know if you can see this little ledge down here. Jeff is bunny hopped onto this, it's actually a concrete bench, I think, and then bunny hop over the rail with a big old bar spin thrown in. And I don't remember, I was trying to find it. I haven't had time to actually pull up the clip from this, because I'm pretty sure this clip was actually in a New World Disorder film. This was, I think this was 2005. I don't remember. Sometime around then. This was my first or second trip to Barcelona. Another random one that's just been sitting on my desk. Dave Swetland from our trip to Peru in '99. And this staircase that, I don't know if you can see off the side down here, but this is literally a staircase built on the side of a cliff. And nothing compared to what some of the guys are filming on their GoPros and stuff nowadays, like some of the skinny little trails people are riding on the side of cliffs. But at the time, this felt pretty sketchy. And yeah, big old steep staircase. This was on the cover of, let's see, was it Mountain Bike Rider, Mountain Bike Review? One of the German or Austrian mags, I can't remember which one. Yeah, and this was in Cranked in '99, so whatever Crank that was, the Peru section. Another shot of Jeff and Travis, a little behind the scenes shot on this slide in Barcelona that I posted this to Instagram and had a few people hit me up and tell me this is actually a pretty legendary spot for skate and bike. And Aaron Lutzi hit me up and said it was a fairly famous trial spot as well. So I feel like everybody's probably hit this in Barcelona. Wait, where's the actual? Oops. There's the one of the shots I used out of it. I haven't, this was just sitting on my desk. I haven't actually looked through my album to go through this. That'll be a whole nother show. I can go through some of these shoots, like this Barcelona shoot, and talk about it. But yeah, big old foo-fanoo on this. And if you look closely, you can see Jeff's tire pressure there. We had a few flats in Barcelona, not from this spot, but a few flats. And somewhere I've got a shot of fixing flats, but yeah, definitely not quite on the rim, but definitely getting down there. This is another horizontal shot of Ryan Senechal after the, oh God, I can't remember what contest it was. The first Toronto contest I went to, and I've got some photos from it, so we'll find it, but there's a vertical shot I took of this a little closer up fisheye, Planet Hollywood in Toronto, doing a pedal grind down this stainless rail, and it ended up as a Marzocchi ad. One of my first, I don't want to say one of my first ads, but one of the first ads where I was super stoked. And if you were here, I think it was the first show I did, I looked through and I found some photos of the the actual banner of it hanging above the Marzocchi booth in Las Vegas. Back to Barcelona, some more behind the scenes stuff. Travis filming Jeff. Jeff hit this this ledge here, straight up this ledge, and then 360 off at the top. And this was a popular kind of pathway here. I just on the side of the street, a sidewalk. It's got a bike lane. I don't know if you can see the white line right there. It's got a bike lane and a walking lane. And there were always people walking or riding down, and I was really hoping to shift the camera to the right a little bit, get less of this wall on the left here, and actually get some people on the right side, but it never really lined up. And Jeff was actually waiting. He didn't want to hit anybody, so he was actually waiting for people to get out of the way. Carter Holland, 2005, I think. I talked about this a little last week, and I realized it wasn't working. But this is a library in, I don't know if it's Long Beach or somewhere LA area. And it's a glass brick wall that he's wall riding. And I had this thought where I wanted to, I really wanted to put a flash, have somebody go inside the building with a flash. I don't know if it would have fired, but it would have been cool to have somebody just standing inside in that spot, lighting the wall up from the other side. So yeah, that would have been cool. Anyways, so there's a few. I'm going to keep going. Yeah, getting tired of talking. My throat gets sore if I talk too long. All right, let's go back to the screen. This one, if you saw on my Instagram, this is what I led with. This is 2000, I want to say 2001. Where's the actual scan of this? Not the scan. Where's the actual sheet of this? So this is Dave Sweatland again. Missed that guy. Sweaty was an amazing human. Lived life large. And yeah, lost him in, I think, 2008 during Rampage. But this was 2001. We were filming Cranked in Boulder City, Bootleg Canyon. And this is at the Bootleg Canyon jumps. They're a little different now, but back in the day they were there. Still, in 2001, there were jumps at the bottom. And Darren Butler and Sweaty and I think it was Rick, was down filming. I can't remember who was, I'm pretty sure it was Rick, filming this trip. But basically built a tiny little fire between the jumps and had a small cooking pot with gasoline or kerosene or something in it. And as he would hit the jump, or actually Darren hit it as well. You can see Darren down here, Darren Butler. So if you've ever done any trips with endless biking or anything else, you know Darren Butler, BC legend. But yeah, they were taking turns as they'd be in the air over it, throw the gas on the fire, and it would explode into this fireball. And again, in Cranked. So there's Sweaty, and there's Darren. And he actually didn't want to burn his eyebrows or anything. He put his glasses on. Hard to see. Shooting at night, the focus is a little off. Probably couldn't tell on a phone or on a print shot, but yeah, that's Darren. And another shot of Darren that I took on that same trip. This is, I can't remember where this was, somewhere near Vegas. And this ran, how does it say? I think it actually says on the thing here, it says brochure. So I think this ran in a Norco brochure at the time with the Marzocchi Shiver, if you can see that. The Shiver was, it had a lot of travel and it felt really nice, but there were a couple of good crashes on this trip, dropping off cliffs, 15, 20-foot cliffs, and I've got a shot where you can see Darren hits the ground, and his handlebars are straight, but his wheel just turns. There was a lot of flex in that fork, side to side. Chris Donahue, and this is, I think, around the same time. Yeah, I never put dates on my slides. I just put 2001 and then the name of the slide. So I don't know when this was, but this is at the Oak Street Jumps in Vancouver. And Greg Fox had sent me a couple of Fox Moto helmets, and I'd modified them so I could, with brass spigots on each side, on the temples, so I could mount a camera on one side and my remote control receiver and a little bit of counterweight on the other side, so it wasn't heavy on one side. And shot a bunch of stuff. This is, I can't remember, I had a no-hander shot as well, like a suicide, and this one. One of them ran in Bike Mag. I can't remember which one it was, but I like this one. See his Hoots knee pads. Shout out to Jay Hoots out there. And yeah, dirt jump on a Rocky RM7, I think. The red one. Is that a 7? 7, 6? I don't remember. It was a long time ago. Brian and O for Chuck. Brian O. This is from Superhero Stuff. This is out at Simon Fraser. Superheroes did a lot of drops off buildings and stuff. And this is one of them. So yeah, off of, looks like a portable or something. But it's got a weird louver glass window, so I don't remember. Simon Fraser University. This is another one. This is off of a water tower somewhere, I think, in Coquitlam. And then this one, off of these people's house. And I don't think they were home, because he basically just got a ladder and climbed up onto the roof and rode off their roof, landed on the lawn here at the front, was a big old bank, and landed on it and rode away. Chris Donahue with a urban gap, jumping over this flower bed, or I wouldn't call it flower bed, planter bed here, downtown Vancouver. And then we're back to where we were, 1500 West Georgia. So yeah, that's what I've got from there. And then the other day, well, this is actually a while ago, I scanned a bunch of stuff and wanted to go through that stuff too before I get into new stuff. So this is Paul Basagosha and Alex Phosphate on the cable cam, filming New World Disorder stuff in Salem. What's the name of the Salem Trail? I think it was in Salem. Salem Trail's in Oregon. But he was so close. The shot of this in the movie is insane. It's so good. You can see the camera right here, how close it got. And Axel was filming, and Paul jumped up and was so close with this can, he almost hit him. Looked really cool in the final footage. Cranked 2002. I think we're coming up to this. 2002, I think, fall 2002, Williams Lake. Tyler Klassen jumping off of a fire tower. I don't know if you can see, there actually is a little bit of a landing ramp. It wasn't jumping to flat and there was no landing, but he's jumping onto this ramp here. But made for a pretty dope shot. Pretty stoked on this one. Again, this one I don't think ever got used for anything. I don't know why. It's a pretty cool shot, but Bike Mag wasn't really into this stuff. Mountain Bike Action, it was kind of a novelty thing. They were mostly into racing and stuff, and there wasn't really an outlet for this in North America at the time. Found this one, pile of stuff. Red Bull Rampage 2002. Tyler Klassen, Super T winning. Cedric came second, and Bear Claw came third. Here's that shot of Ryan Senechal that was used by Marzocchi on the Planet Hollywood rail in Toronto. And somewhere I've got I can actually find the ad for that too. Hang on, let me pull that up. I'm gonna pull up through my folders here and actually find that ad, because I have it while I'm talking to you. I'm gonna have to. Hey Oli, what's up? Olivia out there. You guys ever have this thing where windows get focused and then you can't? Well, if I pull it up over here, I can do it. No, that's not what I wanted. I wanted to go to, there we go. All right, so I'm gonna, oh, excuse me. Sorry. Throat getting dry. I'm gonna go and, where's Bridge? There's Bridge. There's all my titles for this thing. Dropbox, ads, bunch of ads here. There it is. So there we go. That's the, that was the Marzocchi ad for the Marzocchi dirt jumper. And it also ended up, it ended up on the top of their trade show booth at Interbike that year. And, well, yeah, that was cool. I was so stoked on that one. Showing up at Interbike and seeing this huge banner hanging over Marzocchi's booth really made my year. There's a lot, I don't know, there's a lot of ads here. I'm not going to really go through them all right now, but there's a ton of stuff here that is kind of cool. History of stuff. If anybody wants to see all this stuff, let me know. I can go through them at some time. Otherwise, I'm going to go through them when I think they're relevant and see what happens. So, yeah. Wanted to check. Yeah, Robin Coop out there. Yeah, I got a lot of Ryan stuff. Ryan and Chris Donahue. I haven't really pulled it out yet and scanned it, but I've pulled it out of the albums, and I've got some of that stuff in slide sheets, and I'll go through it. Still don't have a really good way, aside from actually sticking them in my scanner and showing them to you. But that means I actually have to scan them, because otherwise they're sideways and it doesn't really work very well. But we'll figure that out as we go. Yeah. So there's that. We're going to go back to there. Oh, random shot. Massa and Evan Feen. And this would have been 93 or 94. Just a random mountain bike shot. Mountain bike. Everything's mountain bike. Random snowboard shot from the early 90s. This is at, I think, Brandywine. We hiked up to Brandywine or Callahan, I can't remember, to go snowboard. And this is later 90s. This is probably like 95 or 96, because Evan's riding the knee-decker. I was repping knee-decker at the time, snowboards, and hooked Evan up. And yeah, we went and did a bunch of epic backcountry adventures. Eric Engstrom. Eric was here for the first week, I think. This is from a superheroes trip. You can see Neil Saunders here, and I think there's Gareth here in the background. This was out by, I think, Six Flags, Valencia, and they were putting a new culvert in. This is in the middle of the I-5 by Valencia. And we were driving by, and it was like, oh shit, there's a huge full pipe sitting there just in the middle of the freeway, middle of this construction site. But everybody was gone for the day, so we just went and hit it. Love this shot. I love Eric's hair in this. Looks amazing, and the shadow looks dope. And again, this is just straight, like, quick shot out of the camera. I'm not adjusting these a lot because they're film. I want them to look like film. I don't want to try and make them look like digital photos where I can tweak things a little bit more. But yeah, can definitely make it look a little more like the photo actually does, a little richer. Keith White, my man Keith White. If any of you have watched a mountain bike or Red Bull movie in the last 10 years, you're probably, even though you don't know it, familiar with the work of Keith White. Keith does all the audio for almost every mountain bike, every important mountain bike film, and a lot of other stuff. Everything that comes out, he does the audio. And actually sent me these beautiful, I don't know if you can see those, Keith White audio socks the other day, so stoked. Thanks, Keith. Those are rad. Wear them soon. They're a little warm, which is perfect for right now in the middle of winter. And I got a bunch more photos I need to send you. So we're going to get to those. And actually, here, let me do this for those of you that didn't see him. It's just his little logo there on these, but you can see it there, Keith White Audio. So Keith is a rad guy. He does amazing things with sound and music and all that stuff. So, yeah. Brent Thompson, I don't know how many of you have ridden Boulder City and how rough and angry those trails are. Like the rocks have teeth, and especially some of the stuff on the front side there. But back in the day when Brent was still alive, he built pretty much all the trails there by hand, by himself. He had some help, definitely had some help from a few other guys, and it got taken over when he passed on. I don't remember the year now, but we lost Brent in 2006 maybe? I can't remember. Somebody will correct me, or I'll come across the photos. But Brent had this double rake technique because a single rake wouldn't get it. So he doubled up these rakes, and he would rake trails regularly. And so many stories with Brent. Oh my God, such an amazing human. He actually, well, I don't know if I want to go into the Brent stories right now, but we can go into that later. Brandon Sloan, Specialized. This is a random photo I found out of a random photo I found out of another thing, on another sheet of slides sitting on my desk. And this is during a Specialized shoot in Kamloops. And I was shooting with, God, who was there? Jordy Lunn. Why don't I remember who else was there? I don't know. But it was Jordy, and it was Brandon. And this beautiful bike, 26-inch, because everything was 26 back then. And kitted out with these road shorts, which was rad. I always get stoked when I see that. Yeah, this is 2004. I'm guessing this was the first Specialized. I shot 2 Specialized catalogs. I think they were 04 and 05. The second one was digital, and the first one was film. This is from the film stuff. So stoked with how the colors came on this stuff. It's at this point in my career, I was getting the film stuff dialed. Darren Bearcloth, Vancouver Island, hand plant over a stump. This was the first little stump, I think, that was in New World Disorder. Don't remember the year. It was dark. This is Provia 400 slide film shot at probably 800, 1600 plus 2. And so grainy. Like you can see there's so little detail in this. You can see the actual film grain. But this still ended up, I think, on a Specialized calendar. Johnny Smoke. This was on the cover of Pedal magazine, Canada's mountain bike magazine. And this is up at Disneyland, up out of Britannia Beach. And so Disney is a moto trials area. And the moto trials guys have built all these trails where they go up and down. And for us on mountain bikes, I don't remember who first started going up there, but I know Smoke was one of the first ones exploring up there. And this was pretty early on in the Disney history of mountain biking. But yeah, long hike to get to the top, push your bike up forever, and like 3 or 4 hours of riding and pushing to get to the top up in the Alpine, and then ride down. So the trials guys would actually ride up this stuff. This little tranny here at the bottom was not built by mountain bikers to ride down. That was built by moto trials guys to go up. But all the stuff that they made to ride up was awesome to ride down. Dan Cowan from Cranked on the circus scene. in, God, was that Crank 2, Crank 3? The Flying Circus. This is shot on Scala, black and white slide film, which was amazing. Dressed up in his crazy Kiss-looking clown outfit. Shiloh Freer. This early Crank 2 maybe. Rossland. You can see the dam over here. This is, south of Rossland, down by the border. We took a boat over from the other side. But K2 days, K2 Zero Gravity team. This shoot was Chris Lawrence, Larry, and Shiloh, and I think Sweaty. And I think this was the day that Chris actually broke his handlebar. He jumped off something like this. It wasn't very high. I mean, you can see the landings down here. It was like maybe 8 feet tall into sand, but the sand was soft enough that when you landed, there was it stopped. You didn't stop completely, but it felt like it. And Larry jumped off one time and his bar just snapped at the stem. Luckily didn't get hurt because sharp broken handlebars can be nasty. But yeah, that's Shiloh. Shiloh worked at Frozen Ocean. That's what I remember. Same time period. Elodie Brown, probably the same trip. The Proflex Animal DH. Elodie was on the K2 team along with, Larry, Sweaty, and Elodie, I think. But yeah, taking it back. And there's Els riding, this is actually in Rossland, I think, while we were filming. Actually, I don't even know if we were filming at this point. This was just going out and shooting some stuff. This, Jamie Goldman, Cam McCall. Jamie, you've been asking me for this for a while. I don't know if I ever sent them to you. I've got a full sequence of this. I'm pretty sure, I'd have to look at the actual photos, but I'm pretty sure this is from the sequence of, this is the landing right here, I think, or this is the landing right here. But there's a landing or a roller from another jump way over here. And Cam McCall right here, Cam had tripled it before. Like taken the lip from back here of this jump and landed here. Pedaled all the way down the street to the post office. And Jamie wanted somebody to tow him in. He wanted to hit it. And Cam kind of sucks things up a little bit. And Jamie pops pretty hard. And he wasn't sure he was going to make it. He popped off the lip. And this is right before he threw his bike. He landed probably 10 feet past the landing. So the landing's right about here. And Jamie landed over here, blew out both ankles. I know the cops got called and it was a bit of a mess and everybody was worried. Jamie was, I think he was maybe 16 at the time because I think he was worried about his driver's license getting points on it from a bicycle crash because supposedly that was a thing. I don't know. Darren Bearcloth, same year, 2002, so second Grouse Mountain World Cup. This was right before I set up the flashes and shot the 1 foot table that ended up on the cover of Bike Mag. This is Super Indian with Vancouver in the background. This shot never went anywhere. This went to Bike Mag with the other ones, but they chose the 1 foot table, and this one never got used. Cam McCall, this is from New World Disorder shoot. This is at John Cowan's jumps, and this is it's like a super, I call it maybe it's a no foot can whip. He's doing like a scissor kick can, Indian can. It's not really a Superman, he's twisted to the side. So yeah, love this shot. Definitely need to clean this one up. That's an old shot of me. That doesn't need to be in there. From like 89 or something like that. Big mountain stuff. And Aaron Lutzy filming Carter Holland with a Carter on a turn down on his mountain bike. Carter's one of the only people I know back in the day that could actually, Carter and Kurt could actually do like a legit turn down on a mountain bike and keep both feet on the pedals and get the bars all the way around and behind their hip. And this is in, I can't remember what trails these were. This is in Spain when we did the Match Videos trip to Spain. And that's that for that folder. So I think I'm going to go look through a bunch more stuff that I have, and it's going to be less stuff on the screen and more stuff just looking through the camera. So let's go over there. Whoops. There we go. So, well, I'm going to just do... So where are we at? Well, I pulled out a bunch of other stuff that I haven't scanned yet from the same. This is the stuff I did scan originally. I think you saw this stuff. Oh, where'd the other sheet? Oh, they're over here. Uh-oh. Hang on, I got to fix this. This is having some issues. Excuse me a second while I tweak that. All right, now I'm in the corner. I guess we got some things going on there. So that's that one. We looked at this. This was the those photos. Those were scanned, so we looked at all those. And these ones we haven't looked at. And which of these come first? O2. Okay, so let's start here. So this is, I'm going to try this. It wasn't working happily in autofocus before, but maybe it will now. Okay, so here, if I can get my, oh well. Oh, it's autofocus, that's why. It's not doing it. All right, let's go this way. That's why I had it in manual. So this is Barrett Thompson. So I mentioned Brent Thompson for a lot of you that have been to Boulder City. Brent built all the trails there, or most of the trails there. And this is his son Barrett. And I don't have it here, but I actually have a photo of Barrett that made it into Bike Magazine that I'm pretty stoked on. So that's Barrett. That's, I don't remember what trail that is. Does it say? It just says, well, it's on Ginger. So that's the top of Ginger, if you've ridden Ginger in Boulder City. Sorry these don't look nearly as crisp as they could. Looking at them through the camera here without scanning them definitely is not as good. Zoom out a little bit. There we go. If I do the digital zoom, okay, that's a nice shot. This is one of my favorite shots from Ginger, actually. This is looking down. This is, if you've ridden Ginger, this is the steep, gnarly section with the corner at the bottom. And this is right after it was built. This is 2002. I think Brent built it in 2000, 2001. So there's that. And then this is, somebody hit me up. Who was it? I can't remember. This is Vince D'Angelo. And this shot actually was in Bike Magazine as well. And back in the day, 2002 maybe. Sunset, jumping over the bush. And somebody mentioned this shot to me, and I'm like, I gotta actually dig that up. So I found it. There's Vince. John Jesme came out one time. We were at the jumps at Bootleg Canyon, and this one made it into Dirt Magazine as well, I believe. I think this was in Dirt. Big old 360, little 360 turn bar there. And Vaughn Williams. Anybody out there remember Vaughn? This is Vaughn Williams. Same thing, bootleg canyon jumps in Boulder City. This was, I think, right after the concrete lips were put in. And this, Evil Dave and Phil Edelson on a, a tandem. And they are literally sending it, and the looks on their faces, you can't really see it here. I've got some more photos. They are terrified sending this tandem down one of the jump lines of Boulder City. It was so fun to watch. Ginger, bottom of Ginger Trail. Oh, this is David K. All right. David Klassen Van Oerschacht. I don't know if a name rings a bell to anybody that's here right now, but maybe watching later. David K was a legend. California, Nevada scene. Incredibly fast racer. And unfortunately, we lost him a few years ago. Sad thing. But yeah, this is the bottom section of Ginger when it's in that little slot canyon, I think after the waterfall. I got to go back and ride that. I have not ridden that trail in forever, like probably 10 years. Yeah. Any of you that have been hitting the Boulder series or Boulder City races, their series, yeah, I should go shoot that one day because I want to go ride there. Maxine. This is Maxine Irving. And this is... doesn't look like the poop chute, but it's something like that. On does it say what trail it is? No, but she won Women's Pro. So this is Maxine out there. Oli, if you're still there, you know Maxine, right? Anka, Sven and Anka Martin. Before Sven got really into photography, he was racing. And I don't know if I have a picture of him from this race, but I have a picture of Anka cresting over the top of the hill there. And David K again. Same thing, coming over the top. And I'll get these all scanned, and we can look at them next week. Quentin Spalding, Q. Phil Tinsman, another legend. And then we go back to some North Shore stuff. This is Corey LeClaire on a snowy ladder bridge in North Vancouver. And I don't know if, yeah, it doesn't, they don't look very clear here, but we'll get to them later. Jumping, you can see him jumping off the right end of that ladder bridge. Chris Donahue, toboggan at a Richmond skate park over the spine. Love this photo. And then some more Chris Donahue. That's the same thing, toboggan over the spine from a different angle. A Bubaka on a Jersey barrier. Nose pick with brakes, not like a foot jam or anything, just a nose pick with brakes. And Jeff Gullovich. I think this might be my very first picture of Gully. Yeah, this is, I don't know where this is. What's it say? 801 Trails. 801 Trails in, was that Surrey? Was 801 Surrey? I don't know. Somebody hit me up. Is anybody out there? Robin? Chris? Somebody out there remember 801 Trails? I don't know. And then we come out to, this is Dylan Tremblay. So this was the beginning of me shooting for Iden. And this is 2002 now. And Iden was a Vancouver clothing company that made some really cool stuff. Kind of like streetwear mountain bike clothing, like technical technical jersey like t-shirts and pants and all sorts of cool stuff. So Dylan Tremblay, Dylan just got back on Instagram and he's been posting some really cool stuff. Insanely talented dude. Yeah, so this is just a tree ride to Fakie. A little ride up the tree, bunny hop, and ride back down. And then a wall ride on this was I think a pump house for a water pumping station. Anyways, there's that sheet. I will get all those scanned this week, and we can look at them in a little more detail next week. And here's some more. All right. So on this page, we've got more. Well, we've got my first Norba. We've got actually a bunch of other stuff in there. I never shot. I shot the World Cup in Vancouver in 2001, but I shot some local races, but I never really went down south to shoot stuff until 2002. So this is just as hard for you to see as it is for me. Like this is. This is Dylan Tremblay, and this is a nose bonk on he gapped across this stairway. I think he came from up top, gapped across this stairway and nose bonked the other side of the stairway. And then this is Jordy Lunn. This is that same trip. I went to Victoria to shoot with or actually Nanaimo, I think, to shoot with Dylan, and shot with Jordy. And this is in Parksville. This is out by the golf course, I think. This drop he had built, and it was a sizable. Does that actually change anything? Yeah, it was a sizable drop. I mean, you can see there. It's especially for back then. You know, that was pretty cool. Different angle of the same thing. Jordy. Missed that guy. Lost way too many friends over the years, especially in the bike industry. So many tragedies. Dylan. This is, well, it's just exactly what it looks like. It's a beautiful bank defense that he had found. And this is Colin Bailey. Men's Pro Dual Slalom. Snow Summit Norba, number 1, 2002. And then from the same race, Termite Hudson. Any of you that run Profile, you know her. You know Termite. This is Termite Racing back in the day, dual slalom. And this shot, Kurt Voorhees and Brian Lopes. That's Kurt in front and Lopes in the back there at the dual slalom at Snow Summit. Beautiful portrait of these two teammates. This is when I first met Kurt. This is it? Did I meet him the year before? I can't remember. 2002. This is Kurt and Mike King, Team Haro. Two of the fastest guys in slalom and four-cross. Well, they didn't have four-cross back then. The two fastest guys in slalom, really, at the time. Both on, well, actually, I shouldn't say that because there were a lot of fast guys back then, but they were always competing against each other, and they're on the same team. This is Shams in the downhill. And then Sabrina Janier. This was a time, a lot of people in this race, this time, didn't run visors on their helmets. I don't know what's up with that. You know, seems like, did they make that a rule? You had to have a visor on your helmet, no more bullet heads in racing? I don't know. Leslie Tomlinson, I threw these in here because I promised Leslie I'd send her some photos because I keep seeing these and never scanning them. So I'm going to scan these and send them to Leslie. Killing it in the cross country. And then we go to Toronto. So this is the Roundhouse Rumble. This is when I shot that thing with Ryan. This is Roundhouse Rumble, which was the event that Ryan and the boys organized. Toronto had such a crazy scene. We had Ryan Senechal and Mike Gooch and Mike Hedford and a few others in Toronto there, and organized these street contests. And this is Aaron Chase. This is when I first met Aaron, was I think at this event. And then you get the CN Tower, foot plant there, CN Tower in the background. 360 over the box jump, this is Chris Donahue. And Jeff Lenoski with a Bubaka on the top of this little sub-box wall. Again, underneath the CN Tower. And that same time I met Jeff as well. So that was a good event for me. And then this is Chris. No, this is Ryan. Little street spot Ryan knew in Toronto. It's pretty cool. Ryan took us around all of Toronto and showed us some cool spots. So this is a bank to wall and backs onto a parking lot, and it's a Bubaka on the wall, which now I look back at this stuff and I'm like, well, should I have shown the bank? I like that it's just kind of random, but I feel like I should have shown like more about what he was hitting. And then this shot of Ryan that actually made it into that Marzocchi ad. There's the actual shot. This got used in a couple places. This is Chris Donahue. This was a metal structure downtown Toronto. And it was dark and I shot too slow and it ended up getting blurry, but still got run anyway. So it's kind of a nice metal curved wall. And then this shot. This is Chris. I got some shots of Ryan here as well. This is a bank with a hip freeway on-ramp. I think it's the freeways going over top, and this is the on-ramp where the van is going up onto the freeway or something like that. I don't know, some sort of thing in Toronto. Who knows? I'm just making this up. The Gardner Hips, and or hip in Toronto. So there we go. That's all I got right now for sorted stuff. But then what I actually end up doing is going through pages and pages of stuff and pulling things out. So I'm going to do a few now. If you're getting tired of this stuff, now is a good time to piece out. This is all right, Crankworks, year one, before it was called Crankworks. So in 2002, there was this little event put on called the Joyride Mountain Bike Fest. And this was the biker cross, the Joyride Biker Cross. And this is Steve Pete and Dave Watson racing at the Joyride Biker Cross in 2002. And then this shot, Petey, Lopes. So really what I do is I go through these and try and find Corey LeClaire. Love the style he's got in this photo. A little tight maybe, but I love that shot. I go through and I look through all these photos and I find some. Lopes and Cedric. Lopes leading Cedric out through a corner. There's just all these photos that I go through and then I pick the ones I think I want to scan, and I scan them. And there's the podium for the Joyride Biker Cross. That was Shams March, Steve Pete, Brian Lopes, Cedric Gracia. With looks like Lopes in first, Gracia in second, Pete in third, and Shams in fourth. I don't know how that went. Doesn't look like that, but you go more of that. Woohoo! And then the women's. Vanessa Stark and Carolyn Chasson and Mio Suimasa. Mio, AC, and Vanessa. Yeah, there's a lot of cool stuff in here. Pictures of like Petey's helmet with a Molson Canadian beer sitting in the visor. AC's helmet and her bike sitting there. I used to take pictures of everything. Lopes and Cedric talking. Good old lifestyle stuff from back in the day. And, you know, more pictures of people. Love this stuff. Still got stuff missing, but lopes, boys hanging out. So I'll go through all this stuff. Oh, that's an evil looking shot of Cedric. Oh my God. Good times. Petey. I got to scan all this stuff. The other problem with scanning all this stuff is it takes up space. When every one of these scans, AC with Kokanee and Caroline. There she is. Yeah. The problem with scanning all this stuff is with a 40 megapixel camera is I end up with tons and tons and tons of Claire Bouchard's bike, the Air Downhill. So this is Air DH. Corey, Annie. Oh my God. Annie Bisson. Hey, Annie. And Claire. So all these photos, there's one I put little stars on them when I find something I want to scan. I don't have space on my hard drive for all these anymore. I got to go buy new hard drives. I got to find money to buy hard drives to scan all this stuff. Stacy Kohut, 2002. So I'll go through and I'll pull those out and yeah, do that. So that's what I got to do for next week. I got to go through and pull out a lot more of 2002, maybe into 2003, put them into some things, and I got to get all this stuff scanned. And me sitting here scanning it is probably not that exciting to watch. I could do a live while I'm doing it. I don't know if anybody'd be interested just sitting here talking to me while I'm scanning stuff, but yeah. And as far as like actually pulling stuff together for some sort of slideshow, well, not a slideshow, a gallery show and a book, some of the stuff might be book worthy, especially some of this lifestyle stuff, just as little thumbnail images and things on pages. There's some good history there. But the other, you know, for a show, a lot of this stuff, I got too many pictures for a show. I got to start narrowing it down. And I got to actually go to my current photos, like up to this year, and start working backwards through more recent photos. So there's definitely a lot of stuff there. So I'm going to start narrowing that down, and maybe we can start going through, maybe next week or the week after, start going through the actual, what I'm going to put in my gallery show, and we can talk about, or I can talk to you about what I'm going to do and all those photos and why I'm choosing those photos, the history behind them and why they're important and what I like about them and what I don't like about them. So I'm going to keep doing this, but I'm going to go get some dinner first because it's about that time. So yeah, going to be done. So cheers. Cheers, everyone. Thanks for watching. Thanks for coming and listening to me talk. I'm going to do a quick check of the comments. Oh, yeah, look at that. See, I got to get, for some reason today, chat's not showing up. I got to switch windows. Robin with some good messages. They're in the comments. I'm going to I'll try and re-edit some of these videos at some point as actual videos, cut out a lot of the blank spaces, but I'm going to leave these up because I love the comments here. Yeah, Robin. Now, I think it was in Surrey, city of Surrey, I think, the 801 Trails. Dylan is also making YouTube. Yes, Dylan's been making some rad videos, Dylan Tremblay, and I'll post it in the comments here, a link to his YouTube. He's been doing some really cool stuff with vintage mountain bikes, so I'll throw a link in there somewhere in the comments. Colin and Kurt, yes, Oli, they're there. I've got more from Snow Summit. from a couple different years. So we'll get through those coming up. All right, well, that's me saying goodbye. Thanks for watching. Anybody that's still there, I don't know who's still there. It doesn't tell me who's there, but there's 3 people watching. So whether that's Oli or whoever it is, or my brother, whoever's out there, yeah, we'll see you next week. Cheers.